These new records show that Arctic frost was much broader than just an electoral matter. The case was expanded to Republican organizations. Republican groups and Republican-linked individuals were placed under investigative scope of Arctic frost. On that political list was one of Charlie Kirk's groups, Turning Point USA.
How is nobody talking about that? This is insanity. Senator Chuck Grassley just announcing that a whistleblower has exposed Operation Arctic Frost for targeting 92 Republican groups, including Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA among them. Former FBI agent Tim Thibault, who had a documented anti-Trump bias, launched the operation in April of 2022, which was the foundation for Jack Smith's 2020 election case versus Trump. While Democrats scream about democracy being under attack, their buddies, their pals in government were secretly surveilling conservatives and other junk with us. Christina Bobb, attorney at Judicial Watch and author of the fantastic new book, Defiant. All right, Christina, this is... I'm sitting there thinking, this is like Lois Lerner, only worse.
It's really, really bad. I'm at Judicial Watch, and I actually have 2 cases currently open trying to get more of this information because it's so egregious. You know, normally what federal investigators or any law enforcement is supposed to do is you find a crime, and then you investigate the crime to find the people. But they flipped it on its head, and they said, we are going to target this group of people. We are going to target conservatives. We're going to target Trump electors, and we'll figure out what the crime is later. And to my knowledge, they never actually found a crime other than Jack Smith concocting some sort of, the 2 cases that we saw from Jack Smith, but none of them included anybody other than Donald Trump. Well, that's not true. The documents case did. Yeah. But no, they flipped the law on its head for political purposes, is what it looks like.
But that's the problem is they went after all these people, then they caught some of them in process crimes. So hey, we're investigating you for we don't know what, but oh, by the way, in 2001, you didn't claim $600 on your taxes. You're going to jail for 30 years. Anyway, this is all so dumb.
It's the definition of weaponization. I mean, that's what it is to use the federal government to use the power of law enforcement in order to intimidate, harass, and dissuade people from the political process, from participating in the political process. And they did it with the full force of the federal government. It's disgusting.
Yeah, 92 organizations, Gun Owners of America, Turning Point USA, a bunch of ones that were actually making an impact. All right, this is crazy to me. Look, I like Pam as a person, but I've not been greatly impressed by her and as an AG. And this is something that really concerned me. Pam Bondi, she comes out and basically says, oh yeah, we're going to start criminalizing or something to the effect of hate speech. Roll this.
There's free speech and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie, in our society. We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything, and that's across the aisle.
I'm not a constitutionalist. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not I read the Constitution, but I'm pretty sure as much as you dislike hate speech in either direction, it is still protected under the First Amendment, Pam.
It is protected under the First Amendment, and I actually appreciate the concern from people that they raised this. I do think she appropriately addressed it and explained that she was referring to hate speech that rises to the level of inciting or threatening violence.
That would be true.
Yes, and she didn't say it in the clip, which I think she recognized she aired, so she put it out later. So, yes, I do think, and I think the point of her raising it at that point is to try to say that all of these leftists that have been calling us Nazis, calling Trump Hitler, saying, we're these racist bigots, it dehumanizes us to the point where people are comfortable murdering others. And I think that's her concern, is where this speech is rising to the level of violence, and it actually is causing very threatening situations to people.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is if it does rise to violence, I can't say I'm going to go punch Christina Bobb in the face. That would
You can try.
Yeah, exactly.
Just kidding.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.